5 worst foreign policy mess-ups Biden has perpetrated. Number 5, Afghanistan. It couldn't have been much worse. After the United States invested $2.26 trillion since 2001 in building Afghanistan's military, chasing the Taliban and Al-Qaeda from power, and providing economic assistance and infrastructure, Biden's precipitous withdrawal from Afghanistan in August 2021 destroyed the ability of the government to withstand the weak Taliban military's advances. Number 4, Taiwan. Under the U.S. Constitution and federal law, the White House, not individual Americans, must conduct foreign policy. Instead, a weak President Biden allowed House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to take over American policy towards Taiwan, set aside the one China policy of the past 50 years, and completely destabilize the military situation between China and Taiwan. Biden ignored the urgings of the Joint Chiefs of Staff not to support Pelosi's political maneuvering with the Taiwan government. Number 3, Latin America. Biden has set the Monroe Doctrine on its head. Under that American foreign policy, which has existed since December 1823, the United States does not tolerate interference in the Western Hemisphere from Europe or Asia. The Biden administration, however, has permitted China to become the primary strategic force in Brazil, Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, Colombia, and even Mexico. The Summit of the Americas in June 2022 in Los Angeles was nothing but a national embarrassment for the United States, as Mexico and other major nations from the Western Hemisphere boycotted the meeting altogether. Number 2, Iran. President Biden has allowed Iran to move forward with its nuclear weapons program, with providing money and military assistance to terrorists in Gaza and Lebanon, and to destabilize the Iraqi government, into which the United States invested massive blood and treasure. It's actually allowed Iran to become a diplomatic force both in the Middle East and Europe. Number 1, of course, Ukraine. Could it be worse? The Biden administration has allowed his family interests in the corrupt Ukrainian government and in Ukraine's oil and gas industry to overwhelm all American foreign policy, even though the U.S. completely lacks a strategic interest there. We've spent $54 billion in Ukraine since February, but over $37 billion of it has fallen into the hands of black marketeers. Meanwhile, 2.5 million Ukrainians are suffering from the worst humanitarian crisis since World War II.